Morning, Dave. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for taking a few minutes.
No problem.
Don't be nervous. Only a few thousand people listening.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about James a little bit. Interesting young fellow. Great kid to talk to. He's always fired up. Has he always been that kind of outgoing type of personality?
Yes, he has. Always.
What was he like as a little toddler? Always getting into things, breaking stuff?
The same. No, not so much breaking stuff, but my husband used to say, I can't wait for him to talk, and now he can't wait for him to shut up.
What's it like been going through his high school career? It seems to go so fast for parents. I know how that can be. I mean, I go from season to season, and you're like, wow, that season went really quick, and obviously it goes quick for young men and women. And how much have you seen him grow and mature in the last 4 years?
Oh, he's matured a lot, and it goes by so quick. It's a blink of an eye. It's, he's a freshman, he's out there, and then it's the last game. And you're trying to, see every game, see every play, and just take it all in, but it does go too quick.
Now, at what age did he start playing football, and did you have any reservations about that?
He started playing football at Taxi, so I guess he was, 5 or 6?
Oh, really? Okay.
No reservations at all.
Really? Because a lot of moms are like, oh, I don't want my boy getting hurt.
No, I guess, no, I wasn't one of those moms at all. Yeah, no, he's loved it and played it all the way through. I trust in the coaches that they'll keep him as safe, as they can, and everything's worked out.
He seems to me, he just strikes me as the kind of kid who needs that kind of physical type sport where he's getting after it with kids. Was that what he was like as a 6, 7, 8-year-old? Yes,
definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's things he did, when he was on Taxi, as a mom, you stay through the practice because you want to watch. And they get a water break, and he runs over, and his tooth was loose. And it was, when he bit down on his mouthpiece,
right,
it would bother him. So he's like, pull it out, Mom. And I'm like, what? So I pull his tooth out. He takes a swig of water, rinses it out, spits it out, and runs back to the field as the other moms are looking at me like, oh, my gosh. And I'm like, no, he's not normally this way. It's just because it's football.
Hey, that's a football player for you right there.
That's what I thought.
Tooth is loose. Take it out, Mom. Let's go. Got practice to get to. Cole's laughing over here. He played high school football at Mainland, played college football, so he can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking with Cindy Marcheski. Her son, James, was an outstanding player for Holy Spirit, just finished up his high school football career. Talk about this season a little bit, Cindy. Things really came together for this squad. It was the second year under Coach A.J. Russo and his staff, and I really got the sense that these guys on this team really were out there playing for each other, and you heard it all year. Hey, we're one of 11. We're one of 11. Everybody just do their job, and it just seemed like there was some great chemistry with these guys.
Yeah, it really, really was. I was listening to the captains, a couple weeks ago, and they talked about the bond and the family, and it's funny, but it's true. It's the whole season. It's all the parents are together. It's every Thursday a pasta dinner for the football team and the cheerleaders, and it's day in, day out, they're all together.
How cool is that for you as a mom to to have your son involved with the football program? I mean, you get to meet so many people. There's, like you said, there's probably 50, 60 kids in the football program, another, 30 or 40 in the cheerleading program, and just all these people coming together every week. And it's got to be neat as a parent. You get to meet so many kids and their families and really just be involved with everybody's life for 4 years.
It's true, and you are involved for 4 years, and then it's over. And now you're like, it's Thursday night. What do I do? I'm used to getting done work and running over to the school to help out with pasta dinner. And, it's Friday. It's a home game. I'm running over to get the stand ready for, the big football game. So, it's a lot of fun while it lasts, but when it's done, you're kind of like sad.
Yeah, I guess we don't think about that in terms of being a sports reporter. We know the kid's career is over, and they're obviously sad about that, but you don't really think too much about the parents. I mean, it becomes such a part of your life. Talk about that a little bit, how much these high school sports just kind of take over a family's life.
Well, we have a sign in our house that we put up, and it says, "We interrupt this family for football season."
That's great.
Yeah, and that's been up. That goes up pretty much in August every year, and it hopefully would come down the first week of December.
You must be really proud of James. I mean, he's really come a long way as a football player. He's not one of those guys that gets a lot of headlines or anything, but he's what I call a grinder. He's out there every day doing his job, and really became an integral part of this defense and this team in general. He played offense as well, and I think he was one of the most valuable players in that team for the things he could do, and not only that, but he was kind of the emotional leader of that squad and really got everybody fired up. You got to be really proud of the career he's had at Holy Spirit.
I sure am. I'm very proud of him every day, on and off the field.
He's a good student too, right?
Yeah.
He better be, right?
Well, that was a rule we made back in, his little league years. A's and B's. If you brought home a C, you couldn't play. You couldn't play a sport. So that didn't happen.
As it should be, right?
As it should be. He and the schools have different GPA rules, but the house has different GPA rules.
What do you think? What do you think you'll remember most about his high school career, looking back a few years from now?
The team. Actually, this group of seniors, they were a really great group of guys. They really were. There were a lot of them, and they stuck with it. And day in, day out, they did what they had to do and went as far as they could.
What's it been like trying to feed all these boys? I'm sure they're over your house a lot.
Actually, not really.
No?
So I'm glad. But when they do come, yeah, it is. I realize that I can make homemade pizza a lot easier than ordering pizzas. So I've done that. But most of the time it's like school, football, then they have to go home. They have to go home and get their homework done and study, and so they're not hanging out much. And when they do hang out together, they tend to hit Chick-fil-A and Popeyes.
Cindy, what's the Friday night lights been like for you as a parent? I mean, I know the players get all fired up for that. It's you only play once a week in football, and that's the highlight of their week. And it's got to be such a rush as well for a parent when you're just before kickoff. You're seeing your son out there getting ready to play the game. What's that like for moms and dads sitting in the stands? It's got to be such a thrill for you as well.
It is. It's so exciting. At Holy Spirit, the moms work the refreshment stand. And since he was a freshman, I said I would be there at 4 o'clock to get ready for the game. But at 6:30 or 5:30, depending on the start of the game, I'm out of the stand because I want to watch the entire thing. I want to watch Joe Vada come out with the bagpipes.
That is an awesome entrance.
Isn't that awesome?
It is great.
I want to hear, the song, we are, Spartans,
Uh-huh.
I want to hear the whole thing. I want to get excited. I want to see who wins the coin toss. I want all of it.
Good stuff. We're talking with Cindy Marcheski. Her son James was an outstanding football player at Holy Spirit, just finished up his senior season. Cindy, real quick before we let you go, give us a quick funny story or two about James when he was a kid that won't embarrass him too much.
Okay, for Holy Spirit, James has thought about Holy Spirit football forever. We live in Absecon, kind of across the bay from Holy Spirit.
Uh-huh.
So on a clear night, we can go on our back porch and hear a Holy Spirit football game. And when James was little, Andy Applegate, who announces the games, was also his coach on, the little Absecon Blue Devils.
Right.
and it was a Friday night. We weren't at the Spirit game. I'm trying to get James, to go to sleep. And he comes down and he's like, "I can't sleep, Mom. I keep hearing my coach." I'm like, You what? He goes, I keep hearing Coach Applegate. He's talking. And I go upstairs and hear his windows were open. Andy was announcing the game. and he just kept hearing it. So since then, he's wanted to play for Holy Spirit. And, luckily, he was able to do so.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure, covering the games the last couple of years and seeing him really mature into the young man he's become. You have a lot to be proud of, Cindy, and we appreciate you taking a few minutes to tell us more about James.
Great. Thanks, Dave.
No problem. Enjoy your weekend and your holiday season. Thanks for taking a few minutes.
You too. Bye-bye.
That was Cindy Marcheski, her son James, outstanding young man at Holy Spirit High School.